All right, so here we have the KZX Crinacle CRN, also known as the Zex Pro. So this is a combination, or sorry, a collaboration between KZ and well-renowned IEM reviewer Crinacle, also known as Crin. So, all right, let's jump straight into it. So in the box, you're going to get the usual stuff that you would get. So your IEMs would be sitting right here. I've actually got them sitting over here. Pop them open. So you're going to get a cable. Obviously, these are wired IEMs, so they do come with a cable. Now, mind you, these are budget IEMs. They cost right about 35-ish, $40. So don't expect the greatest cable or tips right in the box. Just making that clear. The tips and cable are at best. So this is the cable that comes with the box. I kind of didn't really like it. Like, it'll get the job done, but it's kind of thin, a bit on the flimsy side. So not a huge fan of it. It's better than some of the other ones that they used to come with, but yeah, just not a huge fan of it. And then they do have some tips. They come with these white ear tips. They're okay. They're not super bad like some of the older rubber black like silicone ones I used to get before. A little bit better, but I went ahead and swapped these out as well. So at least on mine, for my personal one, I went ahead and swapped out the cable and the ear tips for something a little bit better. But that's basically what you get in the box for the KZ-ZRN. And as you can see in here, it actually says Zex Pro. So there's no difference. Just want to make that as clear as possible between the KZ-CRN and the KZ-Zex Pro. There's no difference. Just the name. That's it. So that's all it is. Same exact ones. So yeah, so let's get right into these. So basically, for my own sound testing, so as you can see, I've swapped in my SpinFit CP100s right here. There'll be links in the description for that. And I use a Yin 4-core cable. Not too expensive. I think it's like 15 or $20. I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. So these are the IEMs themselves, the KZ CRN. And they are using a 2-pin, I believe is a 0.078 connection on these guys. So they do come in a couple of different colors as well, but that's the guys right there, just pure IEM status. Now, for testing, I did use these with a THX Onyx on Apple Music lossless, and I also tested them with an IFI Zendac V2 using Amazon Music HD. So tested with both different options to really kind of get a good feel and a vibe for what the KZ CRN actually have to offer. So let's jump straight into the sound because, when it comes to IEMs, that's all it's about. And overall, this is a very different sound compared to previous KZ IEMs. Now, KZ, to just a little bit of history with me and KZ here. KZ was actually the first set of IEMs I bought. I believe it was the KZ ZSX or something along those lines were my very first IEMs that I ever tried. So we go ways back here. And they've always been known for being like big bass, big V shape, somewhat boomy. So not the best tuned on the market, but if you love bass, they really brought it. This is a complete departure from that type of sound quality. So this tuning is completely different. When people were reviewing these, they were saying stuff like are these even KZ? Like, who even made these? So the tuning is like totally different, which is still cool though, because it still brings it, but in a different way. So it's a much cleaner sound overall, but it's not lacking low end. But let's break it down a little bit. So first up, let's talk about the bass. Now, they do have a balanced bass response, so you're still going to get that punch when you need it. And they have good sub bass extension as well. So that's that bass that you can feel as much as you can hear. So really, really good. If you want to see where that bass comes in, check out a song by my boy E40, and it's called You and That. If you know that song, You and That Booty, that's that song. But the bass response on that track, the sub bass, definitely a good test for these. Now, moving over to the mid range on these. So the mid range on these is smooth, yet it's still energetic. So it isn't like super recessed or super neutral. It doesn't fall super flat. It's actually pretty good. There's excellent vocal clarity here. Now, when it comes to stage with live recordings, it's actually really, really good. I was incredibly surprised by that for something that comes in at a price of around $35. There's also very decent instrument separation. So when you're listening to something like orchestras or live bands, you can hear the different instruments and they don't kind of muddy into each other. So I love hearing those differences between them. If you want to hear a specific track to test these out with, I would check out Silk Sonic, Put on a Smile. It's got excellent male vocals backed up with a live band, and you really, really want to check out that song. It'll really let you hear what I'm listening to and what I'm hearing here. Now, moving over to the treble. Now, the treble is very bright and possibly too bright for some people. So, treble's kind of where these get into a little bit of trouble. So, I did have to dial it back a little bit in EQ. So, the higher frequencies, I had to push them back a little bit to make it less fatiguing. Because otherwise, if I didn't make those adjustments, after like 15 to 30 minutes, it was a bit too much. I would have to lower the volume, then I couldn't really hear it. So, the treble was a little too peaky for me personally. For some people who like treble, who like that, it's going to be fine. But if you're treble sensitive, either one of two things: either don't get these, or be ready to make some EQ adjustments. Because once you make those EQ adjustments, then these can truly shine. So that's what really makes it happen. Once you dial them in, they're dialed in. Strings, flutes, horns, they all sound lively and warm, and they're not like too in your face, but they're present. And it's really nice. If you want to see, or if you want to check out a song that I use for testing here, I was using a live recording of the Los Angeles Philharmonic doing Waltz of the Flowers from the Nutcracker Ballet. It is absolutely awesome using these. But as I said, and just to reiterate, if you're somebody who is sensitive to treble, then you definitely want to, might have to look elsewhere if you're not willing to do some EQ adjustments. But otherwise, the KZ CRNs, for the low price of like 35 to 40 bucks, these are an easy recommendation. Easy recommendation. So definitely check them out. If you're interested, I will leave links to them in the video description box down below. But yeah, that's going to do it for this. I'm out.